OpenAI has just introduced structured output in their API itself. Earlier, we were relying on external GenAI framework like LlamaIndex and LangChains to generate the structured output. But now this particular capability has been integrated in OpenAI native SDK and API itself. And we do not need to use any kind of external GenAI framework to generate the output in the structure format. So in this video, we will try to leverage this capability and we will try to produce a structured output using native Python SDK from OpenAI. For that, first of all, you need to upgrade your OpenAI so that you will have access to all these newly introduced capabilities. So to upgrade your OpenAI, you can just run this command, pip install upgrade OpenAI. And here you can see OpenAI 1.4 is going to be installed, and then we have successfully installed 1.40.1. So first of all, we are going to write a code to get the response in the unstructured format, and later on we will modify our code and enable all these new capabilities to get the data in the structured format. So first of all, we have to import OpenAI package. So I'm just going to import OpenAI from here, and using this OpenAI, I have to initialize my client. So I'm just going to initialize my client. Now I'm just going to call the chat completion endpoint and pass my instructions. So I'm just going to call this completion, and then we have to leverage this client under chat. Then we do have completions and then create. And under this, we have to pass our model. So we are going to pass GPT-4o mini in this case. And then we have to pass our message. And first thing what we have to pass is role. I'm directly going to pass our role as a user. And then we have to pass our content. So the instruction I'm going to pass, please provide random famous album details. And then I'm just going to go ahead and print the response over here. So this is our sample application, and we know in this case the response what we are going to get, it is going to be in unstructured format. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this code now. And if I'm just printing the completion, then it is coming with a lot of data. So this completion consists of this chat completion, then we do have choices. And then at the bottom, we have the total tokens, number of tokens and all those things, the model what we have been utilizing and other details along with it. But we just want to focus on the content which is coming over here, the album detail. And this is under choices. And then this choices is an array. So everything is coming under this array. And then under choices, we do have message, and under message we do have this content section. So what I'm going to do over here, rather than just printing the completion, I'm just going to navigate to choices and then navigate it to message and then navigate it to content. And again, we'll try to print this, and this time I should be able to get only the content of it and not the additional information along with it. So you can see model has produced the output. We have got some famous album details. In this case, you can see the album artist, release date and all those things. Here there are some overview, the achievements and all those additional details. Because in this case, we are just asking model to provide the output, but we are not defining any structure for model to follow. So model is coming up with its own structure and providing the output in this way. Now with this new capability is enabled, we can decide the output schema, and then model has to follow that particular schema for us to get the output in the structure format. Now we are going to modify this code to get the output in the structure format. So first thing what we have to do is define our PyIdenti classes. And to define our PyIdenti classes, first of all, we have to import PyIdenti, and here we have to import base model. Now next thing is we have to define our classes based on the schema what we want. So I will just put over here PyIdenti classes, and here first of all I'm going to define songs, which is going to be part of album. So to define this PyIdenti class, I have to use this base model, and then under this I just need the name of the songs, so which is going to be of a string type. Now the second class what I have to define is album, so I'm just going to call it album, and then again I have to use this base model. Under album I need a name of the album, and then I need songs detail, and this is one album can have multiple songs, so this is going to be list of the songs, and the songs class we have already defined above, so I'm going to use it. And to enable this list, I have to import another package which is going to be from typing, and then I have to import the list. Now our PyIdenti class has been defined. The next thing what I have to do is modify this particular endpoint. So I will just remove it and I will just pass beta, and under this we do have chat, then completions and then parse. Why we are enabling this parse? Because parse comes up with this tools capability, and using these tools only we can parse our classes, whatever we have defined over here. So the model and message is going to be same. One thing additional what I have to define over here is going to be tools, and under this tools to parse our classes we have to import OpenAI package as well. So I'm just going to import OpenAI, and then using this OpenAI I have to pass my classes. So OpenAI dot pydantic function tool. So I have defined pydantic class as an album. So this I can pass directly over here, and album is internally going to refer this songs class. So we don't have to pass this songs class specifically over here. Now this tools actually we have to define under a list. So let me correct that. Now we can go ahead and print the responses whatever we are getting. We will just try to print only the completion so that we can get to know what information are we getting, and then we can navigate it to the content sections accordingly. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this code now, and here you can see earlier we were getting the chat completion, now we are getting the past chat completion over here. This also has choices under this, and then you can see there is a bit difference in the output what we are getting. Now everything is coming under this tool calls. So under tool calls you can see the output is pass function tool, and under this we do have a function, pass function, then we do have arguments, the name, and then the songs. So this is coming under arguments, and then there is something called pass argument also. The only difference what we have in this case argument, and in this case it's coming with the class name. So here first of all we are getting an album, then the name, and for each songs we are going to get songs class name as well. So the first output is over here under this pass argument, and then you can see the second output over here. Under this tool calls we probably have to iterate all these functions to go to the required output. So let me just try to print one output, and then we will try to modify our code to loop over the output. For that what I have to do is still I have to go to choices. Under choices we do have message, so I will go to message. Then under this we do have tool calls. We are just trying to print one response as of now, so this is going to be tool calls. Then we do have function, and under function we can print arguments to get the output, or if you want it with the class name then we can also do something like this, and instead of argument we can just pass passed argument, and again we'll try to go ahead and try to run this. Now here you can see the name of the album and then the song details. Over here this is coming in the structure format, and then over here you can see the pass argument output. The name is coming as it is, Thriller, and then the songs, but the only difference what we have over here, we are getting a song class name also in front of all the songs name. So this is just one output, and we know like we have to iterate over it to get the all required output. For that we can just modify our code like this, and we know everything is under tool calls. We just have to take output till tool calls as of now, and then we are going to loop over it. So to loop over it I am going to define variables, and I am going to use enumerate in Python. This is going to be tool call in enumerate, and then this is going to be tool calls, and now I am just going to print the response using this tool call. And under this tool call now I can go ahead and pass either function argument or function pass argument. So I am just going to pass function argument, and I'm just going to print the response. So now if I try to go ahead and run this, then I should be getting all the output at one place and without having any additional information. So now you can see, so the first album is Thriller with all the song name. Then we do have this Abbey Road, then the songs, and then we do have some additional album with the songs as well. So this is one way of passing your schema under this particular endpoint. There is another way also which they have introduced. So if you go to parse, then there is something called response format as well. Either we can pass a tools like this, or we can just remove it and pass response format to define our schema, and under this we directly have to pass our class name. I can just directly pass our album details over here, and now actually again we will try to print the completion first just to see from where actually we have to retrieve the content of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and run the code now, and we'll wait for the response. So here you can see the response is coming again with the pass chat completion. It's coming under choices. Under choices, then we do have message, then we do have the content. Here we can just navigate it to choices, then we can just pass message, and then we can just pass the content. Now if we try to go ahead and print it, then we should be getting only the content of it, which is going to be from here to here. And here you can see like we were able to get the output as well. So you can either pass tools to define your schema, or you can pass response format, and then you have to print the output accordingly. So one additional thing what has been introduced over here is refusal. In certain cases, if model feels your request is not safe, so it will just refuse it and we won't be able to get our required output. But we can use this feature just to check it out whether our schema has been accepted or not. So what we can do in this case, like we can just take this and we can print over here. I can just modify it. I can just pass message, and then I have to remove the content from it, and then I have to define a condition. If my message got passed, then I can just go ahead and print the response. Else I can just get to know my schema hasn't been accepted, or somehow the model thought the request whatever I'm providing, it's unsafe to process, so it will refuse it and I will get the message accordingly. So rather than printing over here, I can just take it and I can just paste it over here. And this is how we can enable these new features to get the structured output. So one more thing what I wanted to highlight in this case is limitation and restrictions. Whenever actually you are going to define your schema, the first API response with a new schema will incur additional latency, but subsequent responses will be fast with no latency penalty. So this is also you have to keep in mind, like the first response is probably going to be slower. So the second point is, in case of refusal, the model can fail to follow the schema, and we can get to know in the response, because if the output is coming with the refusal boolean parameter will be set to true and it will indicate in the output. And here another point what they have highlighted, structured output doesn't prevent all kind of model mistakes. There could be a few scenarios where model may still make some mistakes. And other thing what they have highlighted, like structured output is not compatible with parallel function calls. So this also we have to keep in mind. So that's all what we have in this video. Thank you for watching.